Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Hope all of you will be doing well at your homes by the grace of Allah. This is your teacher, Ms. Uzma Wahid. In this video, I am combinedly addressing the students of class 9th and metric. Well, first of all, on behalf of the school management and all the teachers, I congratulate all of you for being promoted in new classes. Now, to compensate your academic loss, the management has started the session of online lectures, which are developed in your vast interest. Now, as you know that there are no prescribed books for English grammar by the Sindh Textbook Board. So all the related and relevant topics of English grammar will be taught to you in detail without referring any particular book. So what you need to do is buy a separate register for English grammar, make title page for midterm, make another title page for the topic, and copy down all the details of the topic given in this video. The topic of today's video is active and passive voice, and it has got some specific objectives. While covering this topic, we will be able to know about the differences of both the voices. Secondly, how both types of sentences are constructed. Thirdly, why do we actually need the passive formation? When we know that message is conveyed through active voice, then what is actually the need of passive formation? That also you will learn while covering this topic. Moreover, we will learn about formation of passive voice in all the tenses, in the indefinite tenses, continuous tenses, and the perfect tenses. Well, before moving to the actual topic of passive formation, it is important to know what is an active sentence. A sentence is called active when the subject of the sentence is focused and when the whole emphasis is turned towards the subject. This voice is used to indicate the subject of the verb is performing the action. Now, what is a passive voice? A passive voice is a sentence in which the subject does not perform the action of the verb. In fact, in a passive sentences, the action of the verb is done to the subject. So we can say that in passive sentences, the thing receiving action becomes the subject of the thing doing action. Now, the question arises, what is the need of passive formation? So, there are a number of reasons for it. For instance, when we do not know who did the action, then passive formation can be used. When subject is not that important and focus has to be shifted to the object, then also passive formations are used. Sometimes to catch readers' attention or to create dramatic situation and making them to see the things from an object's point of view, passive formation are used. Moreover, sometimes passive formation show more politeness as compared to the active voice. So these are the reasons for which passive formations are used. Now, there are certain rules to change active voice into passive voice. First of all, you need to identify subject, verb, and object in a sentence. You know what is a subject? The one who does the action. Verb is an action word, and object which receives the action. Secondly, sort out object as singular or plural. Thirdly, identify the tense of a sentence. If you know the tense of a sentence, it would be easy for you to proceed further. Then, sort out helping verbs according to the tense. It means if it is a present tense, then SMR will be used. In case of past tense, was were will be used. In case of future tense, will be used. Then apply values to the formula of the passive voice, which has been given over here as an example of the present indefinite tense. For the active voice, the formula becomes subject plus verb plus object. And the example is the teacher encourages the students. Here, the teacher is a subject, encourages is a verb, the students is the object. Talking about passive formation, how it will be done. First of all, object will be taken, then helping verb. According to the tense, is and are will be used. Third form of the verb will be used. Now you need to remember that no matter whatever the tense is, third form of the verb will be used in all passive formation. Then by, and then object pronoun. So the passive formation of the given example becomes, the students are encouraged by the teacher. Now we will proceed further, changing the passive voice according to the tense. First of all, we have passive voice in present indefinite tense, and the example is given, she changes the color scheme of house. Now according to rule, we would proceed further. She is subject here, changes verb, the color scheme of house is the object, and the tense is present indefinite. So apply the formula and bring the object first. It will become, the color scheme of house is changed. As I told you that we always use third form of the verb to change into passive voice. By is the formula and her is the object pronoun. So the answer becomes, the color scheme of house is changed by her. Now moving to the next tense, that is past indefinite tense. The example becomes, she changed the color scheme of house. Now change is showing that it's a past tense. So due to past tense, what will be used? Was will be used, and the answer will become, the color scheme of house was changed by her. Now we have passive voice in future indefinite tense. Now the sentence will become, she will change the color scheme of house. Will change is denoting towards future indefinite, and for the future indefinite, will be is the helping verb. So the passive formation will become, the color scheme of house will be changed by her. This is how you have learned the change of passive voice in all indefinite tenses, the present indefinite, past indefinite, or the future indefinite. Now there is further detail regarding the formation of the passive voice. For instance, how the negative sentences would be changed into passive voice. The passive formation of the negative sentences will also be in negative, using the helping verb according to the tense. For instance, the example is given, she does not change the color scheme of house. Now does not change is indicating the present indefinite tense, and for the present tense, the helping verb is used. So the same rules will be applied and not will be added in the sentence. So the passive formation of the given example would become, the color scheme of house is not changed by her. Now moving to the interrogative sentences. The passive formation of the interrogative sentences will also be in interrogative, using the helping verb according to the tense. Now we know that there are two types of interrogative sentences, the one which starts with the helping verb and the other which starts with the WH words. So the example is given, does she change the color scheme of house? Now does she change is indicating the present indefinite tense. It means for the present tense, the helping verb is will be used. So to make it in the interrogative form, you will change it in the passive formation. So the answer would become, is the color scheme of house changed by her? Now we have got other type of interrogative sentences which start with WH words. The passive voice retain the question word in the beginning, and sometimes a preposition by is added. For example, when do you change the color scheme? Do you change is indicating the present indefinite tense, and we know that for the present tense is will be used. Now when is the WH word which will retain its initial position, and the other rules will be applied. So the passive formation of the given example will become, when is the color scheme changed by you? Well, as we know that there are different types of sentences, and for these different type of sentences we have different passive formation. Now we have got imperative sentences. The imperative sentences may contain order or command, advice or suggestion, and they may have request as well. For the orders, if the example is given, change the color scheme. Now there are two possible passive formations. The first one can be used with let, and it may become let the color scheme be changed. Now since it's an order, so it can also be said in a way, you are ordered to change the color scheme. Now in case of advice or suggestion, the example becomes, you should change the color scheme. So it would become, the color scheme should be changed by you. Now you may be notifying that in all the passive formation, third form of the verb is being used. Now we have got another kind of imperative sentences which shows request. For example, please change the color scheme of the house. Now the word please can be replaced by the word kindly. So the formation becomes, the color scheme of the house may kindly be changed. There is another possible formation which can be used as, you are requested to change the color scheme of the house. Well, I hope so far whatever the information has been given regarding the topic, you would have understood. The remaining content of the topics would be discussed in the next video. For the time being, you are being assigned a simple home task and you need to solve these simple examples. Alright, thank you.